I always feel like I need some music right here. Let me see. Make sure everything working. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. If I'm live. There I am. Yay. Let's see if I'm in the group. I mean, on my page. I am. There we go. All right. It's Joycelyn Wells with Joy Exposed, and it's Wednesday, November 10th. First off, let me say this. It's effing hot. I am. Do you see I'm sweating? I'm sweating. I have the heat on. I turned the heat on last week, and it's hot. I might have to turn it off. I don't know how that's going to affect my utility bill, but I am hot. Anyway, it's Joycelyn Wells with Joy Exposed. It's Wednesday, November 10th, 9 o'clock. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. All right, so 3 cheers of joy, 3 moments of self celebration that have nothing to do with you. I mean, 3 moments of self celebration that have nothing to do with anybody else but you. And that's where we would get started with that. So we are looking at, let's see, Queen's Ransom. Thank you to Queen's Ransom for sponsoring Joy Exposed. And I'm feeling like my camera is low, and I'm thinking, what did I not put on? Something I'm missing to get my camera higher, and I may have to go get it. Okay, I'll be back. Stay right there. I'll be right back. I'm coming. I'm so close. I'm gonna turn on my air conditioning because I'm hot. Okay, so I got the air conditioner on. I got my little thing to lift my camera. All right. Okay, I'm back. Thank you so much for hanging out for that time. Let me lift this so that the camera isn't so low. Oh my gosh, I'm always a work in progress over here. There we go. Oh, shit. There we go. All right, let's see if I can get that better. Okay, so that's better. Yes. Okay, I forgot my little raise, my little desk thing that raises my camera up a little bit to keep me from being so low. So anyway, hey there, it's Wednesday. Thank you guys so much. 3 cheers of joy brought to you by Queen's Ransom. Tonight we're drinking forbidden fruit. Ooh, remember alcohol infused products. Alcohol infused products sponsors 3 cheers of joy. And if you don't remember, 3 cheers of joy, 3 moments of self celebration that have nothing to do with anybody else. And I'll get started. So my first cheer of joy, is to my faceless love, who watches religiously, watches Joy Exposed. He watches every week. And most of the stuff we've already talked about because, he's my guy, but he still watches and he still makes comments and he's still just as attentive as the very first Joy Exposed. So I'm grateful for Faceless Love watching Joy Exposed. So that's my first cheer of joy. My second cheer of joy is, I found this amazing lotion called Sarna. And I talked about having these itchy spots on my stomach and my back. And I think it's from menopause, like why I'm sweating right now. So I've been using this lotion called Sarna. It's available over the counter. And that's my second cheer of joy. To Sarna. I'm celebrating drinking out of my Steffi tonight. So my first cheer of joy was to Faceless Love for religiously watching Joy Exposed and just being who he is. He's amazing. And my second cheer of joy was to Sarna lotion for my itchy spots on my stomach and my back. They have made a huge ass difference. My third cheer of joy is my hair. My hair, right? So I've always had relaxers like my whole life up until about 5 years ago, and I decided to lock my hair. And my hair is growing so fast. Like no chemicals. Like I barely do anything to it other than retwist it and put beeswax on it. I may rub some rose oil on it or some coconut oil, something like that. But it's trust me when I say it's low maintenance. I may retwist it 6 or 7 times a year. Like that's it. But my hair is growing so fast and I love it. And I'm glad that it is this time of my life that I can enjoy it. So cheers to my locks. Cheers to that. So my first cheer of joy, I have to do a recap. 3 moments of self-celebration that have nothing to do with anyone else but me. The first is my faceless love watches Joy Exposed every week, whether he is here or not, whether I'm in Florida and he's in Atlanta, it doesn't matter. He is tuned into Joy Exposed and he is truly my number one fan. And I appreciate that, right? So cheers to my number one fan. Um, the second cheer of joy was to the Sarna, the lotion that makes my skin feel so much better. And these itchy spots have now just gone away and they're feeling really rough and now they're not. So, and this has been less than a week. And third is my hair, my locks. My hair is growing so fast and I'm trying to be creative with it because I don't really know what to do with it because I've never really done hair. And so now I've figured out I could twist it and fold it in half and put a rubber band on it, and it'll stay like that. And it's so funny because it grows so fast that I can't even leave it like this for too long because it'll already start growing like this. Like it'll start growing together like this. So I have to only keep it like this for a couple of weeks. So those are my three cheers of joy brought to you by Queen's Ransom LLC. And when you go to Queen's Ransom for your holiday purchases, Queen's Ransom LLC, don't forget to enter Queen Joy to save your 10 to 15%. I can't remember which it is, but use Queen Joy as your coupon code. So cheers. Mm. And now look at some social media posts of the week brought to you by STM Specialties. Always taking care of me on that. Let me tell you guys the first things first. This morning, I was sitting at my computer and I got a freaking alert from my bank. And now this isn't a social media post of the week. This is just something I saved in my phone because it gave me a fucking heart attack. Where it looks like my son had paid $500 for some theatrical ticket purchase something. Now, the reason I knew about it was because his account didn't have $500 in it. So they took it out of my account. I literally was like, wake your little ass up. He was like, I'm in class. I was like, call me ASAP. Like, this is urgent. So he called me. He's like, Mom, I don't know what that is. And I said, well, you need to call the bank because you have to answer questions about your card. I mean, because he's a man. Like, I'm his mom, but he's a freaking man. Men have to handle the shit they're going to handle. Like, I don't intercede on that or intrude on that. Anyway, so he was like, but I'm in class. If you don't call that damn bank, you being in class don't even fucking matter. Anyway, so he called the bank and he went through all that. He sending me messages of step by steps of stuff that's going on. He was like, Mom, I'm sorry, and he's so kind. I hate to inconvenience you like that. And I'm like, gosh, was I that dramatic? He feels like he inconvenienced me. But I mean, it's $500. Like shit. So he took care of it. And so they, issue a new card and write a credit and all that stuff, put the money back and all that. But still, it really got me like, because he'll go, he can do what he wants to do. He has money, he has a credit card, he can function, but $500 to where it affects me, then it's like, you got to let me know ahead of time because this ain't something I can clean up. We don't operate like that. But anyway, so that was my social media posts. My first one was my note from my bank. All right, so let's see. Uh, a young lady out of my Facebook group posted this. Her name is Tandy. Hey there, Marisa. Her name is Tandy. She posted this. She got it from somewhere, I'm sure, but it's it's funny. Okay, it says po nigga me. So po nigga me, Niggamy. A bunch of poor niggas trying to pimp gullible women into financially supporting them as their multiple wives. Hashtag Negro, please. I thought that was so funny because, it's really a play on polygamy, right? And people want to have this conversation. Men want to have this conversation with you about polygamy and, that kind of thing. And they really ain't got shit to offer. They just want to get some hardworking women to understand that we working together to build something, and they ain't got shit. I mean, maybe some of them do. I don't know. I haven't met any that have something, but so this was right on time for me. That was funny. Ponygamy. Okay, here's one, and I posted this and it brought tears to my eyes. I cried, baby. It's from one of my students, and I posted it on Facebook because this had me in tears. Like I was literally in the middle of a meeting, and I excused myself from the meeting. That's how much I was crying. It said, "Good morning. I just wanted to take a moment out of my day to remind you how absolutely grateful I am for you. It has been a few years now, but I want you to know that everything you are and all the love that flows from you had a huge part in my life. You were an amazing teacher, but the amazing person you are is the person who extended herself to come to my home and spend time with me. You came to keep me caught up in school, but you talked with me. You encouraged me. You spoke life into me when I didn't think I was worthy of it. So thank you. Thank you for reaching out and giving me some light in the darkest and lowest moment in my life. No matter how far you are or how long we go without seeing each other, I will love you for the rest of my life." Baby, it was a wrap for me. I was in tears because, you guys know I teach. You guys know that, I do a lot of different things, but for my primary income is teaching. I've been teaching for several years. So that's important to me because I feel like I can touch a lot of people that way. But when you have a student that reaches adulthood and they're living their life and growing, and when you have a student that gets to a place that they can just stop and tell you how they feel about you, that's what teaching is about. Like, that's it right there. Like, if you can just touch somebody and make their life better. I love that. So that just it made my heart happy. It made me, let me turn my camera down. I'm sorry, my phone down. It made my heart happy. It made me just, any thoughts that I have about not being an effective teacher or not being good, then it just took it away from me because I felt real. I felt real. Like I'm doing a great job. So that was cool. Let me see what else I got before I go on. Oh, let's see. Oh, and this is the last one. It's funny as shit. It's Allison Christie Johnson. Y'all know I love her. It says, "Essential oil friends. Which oil calms household family members down? Chloroform. It's chloroform, isn't it?" That's funny because everybody's talking about essential oils, but y'all know that chloroform will put a motherfucker down. Like you get somebody a whiff of that chloroform and they out for a little while. So which one? That's probably something good to know for Thanksgiving. Good to know for the holidays. Which one of these oils can I use for my family member to get them to calm down? So I thought that was hilarious. So I thought that was lots of fun. So those are my Facebook posts of the week, brought to you by STM Specialties. And she has like an heirloom collection. She does specialty tumblers, crocheting and knitting if you need a special piece. And this holiday season, I don't know about you guys, but coming out of COVID, and moving into the holiday season, now when I do stuff for someone or when I think of someone, I want it to be that once in a lifetime thing that I can offer. Like I want it to be something that transcends just every day. I need that. I need that for me to know that I thought of people enough to do something special for them. And that's how I'm thinking of gifts. So when I'm thinking about stmspecialties.com or I'm thinking about Queen's Ransom, these are personal private businesses, small businesses that are just literally touching everything that you get. And there you are for that. So, oh, something's flying in my face. It's a gnat. I've been trying to. I'm like, where is it? Anyway, so I'm Joycelyn Wells, and you're watching Joy Exposed on Facebook Live. It's also live on YouTube and Twitch. You can view it on my website. If you have an opportunity to share this on your stream to your friends, to your family, however, share it. And that's amazing. And I would greatly appreciate that. That's worth so much to me. Likes on YouTube, sharing the page. The more people, the more access. We're also available on iTunes and Google Play and Spotify. Wherever you find your great podcast, you can find Joy Exposed. So thank you guys. And today I was having this moment. Well, I was watching TV and working. I've been working since 6 o'clock this morning. Like I woke up early. I had an early meeting. That's a whole nother conversation in a second. But I woke up and I had an early meeting. So I've literally been at my computer all day until right before the podcast. And I was thinking earlier, like, well, I'm not going to do it tonight because I've been working all day. Put that out there, right? And so someone sent me a message, sweet lady Tasha sent me a message and was like, hey, I just listened to the podcast from a week ago and thank you so much. She said, I know I'm quiet on social media, but she said, but I'm looking and I'm paying attention and I appreciate you. So, that good stuff, like when you can get that goodness from people, when you're doing something and you can get that positive feedback, that goodness, that means everything. And I love that. Like, y'all have no idea what that means to me. And I have another girlfriend of mine that will send me a message and ask, are you going to be live? Are you coming on? So I just, have to pay attention to that because sometimes it's daunting, right? Sometimes it's overwhelming when you're trying to do something new and you're stepping out and you're kind of putting yourself out there. But when people are waiting for you, whether it's one person or 100 people or 1,000 people, you do what you're supposed to do. My voice is the same. My intention is the same. And I've had to learn that. And I think that when I was doing my readings before the pandemic, when I was doing my reading before the pandemic, I learned that my sister-in-law is texting me. Let me tell her. When I was doing my readings before the before the pandemic, I realized that sometimes I went and did a reading and it was 100 people, and then occasionally I would go, it would be one or two people. So it's like I have to still move the way I'm supposed to move. If it is the intention of my purpose, if it's along my path, I have to still be available and do what I'm going to do, and I did. So I like that. And when listeners are reaching out or viewers are reaching out and they have something positive to say or negative, it doesn't matter. If they can take their time, because time is so valuable, to reach out and say one way or the other, that means the world to me. And I'm so grateful. So thank you guys so much for watching and listening and, just being so supportive. That means everything. All right. So let me go back to this morning getting up at 6 o'clock. So last night I got a message from one of my colleagues that said, hey, we got a meeting at 7 a.m. I just don't want you all to miss it. She sent it in our group chat. So I get up at 7. 6. I'm ready. I'm sitting in my computer ready. Ta-da! Like I've been up at 7 and I already knew, like I just felt it. I mean, maybe because I'm older, I don't know, but I already felt like it was going to be a thing, right? What was it? And so I get on there and I hear that my principal is resigning. At the end of the month, my principal is leaving. And my first thought was, I knew it. Don't you hate something happens and then you're like, ooh, I knew that was gonna happen. I knew it. Because it was quiet. He was quiet. He always sends a lot of messages and hurrah and cheers. But over the past few weeks, he's been quiet. Like, I even asked last night, where is he? And they were like, I don't know. I haven't talked to him, whatever. And so he came on to the meeting and he began to tell us, just to talk to us, because we're a completely virtual school. We don't have a schoolhouse. Our schoolhouse is in a cloud. Our schoolhouse is in the cloud. So he came on telling us that about how he started the school, and this is a Fulton County school. How they started in October, and now we're in November. So a year ago, about a year and a month ago, they started the idea of a completely virtual academy, completely virtual. And fortunately, I was hired there, so, and I have no complaints about it because I love the virtual. I love that. So I have no complaints at all. And he started talking about the reason he started, why he wanted to do it. But then he went into his role as the principal wasn't meeting his why interpersonally. And y'all know that shit is up my alley. Like, if you're doing something and you don't feel good doing it, get the fuck away from it. Like, to me, I don't care. Like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what the argument is. I don't care. I don't care. Because I feel like when you're in a situation and it fucking sucks, that's the universe telling you this isn't where you're supposed to be. But our human selves want us to stay in it. It could be for the money, for obligation, because you think you don't have any other options, whatever it is. When you're uncomfortable in a space, it's a reason you're uncomfortable in a space. It's not that you stay uncomfortable till you get comfortable. If you're in a situation that's you're dreading, that you don't like, do something different. Make a plan. I literally talk about that every couple of weeks or so. So when he was talking about his why, and he hasn't found it, and it wasn't being fulfilled, and I was just listening to him. And I had colleagues on there crying when it was their time to talk. They were talking, I learned so much from you. I hate to see you go. And are you sure? That kind of thing. And then I spoke because I don't know him, because I'm new. I'm new to the district. And I told him, I said, listen, congratulations to you, because you're brave enough to step away from something that everybody sees so good. Congratulations to you for stepping the fuck on. And we all should have more of that. Now, I didn't say that part, but we all should have more of that. People should be confident enough to walk away from some shit that feels bad. Like, I know it sounds crazy because we all need money, but there's other opportunities to make money. If you're in a situation, job, relationship, family situation, whatever it is, if you cannot tell yourself the truth about what the fuck it is that's happening, then you're the one that's suffering more than anybody else. And so I told him, I said, well, here's the thing. If you don't find your why, you will fail to fulfill your obligation to the universe's reason for choosing you. So you have a why. We all have a why. We all have a reason for existing. We all have a reason why we were chosen. And believe it or not, I'm Joycelyn, but had the sperm next to the one that got into the egg got in, I would have been different. I wouldn't have been exactly the same person. I would have been a different person. So we were all chosen for something. The thing is being bold enough and trusting enough to find it. That's the thing right there. Being bold enough to find the reason. And I know that we are in situations where we're married or we got kids and we're raising kids and we can't move as fluidly as we want. But there's always something else we could be doing to satisfy something about who we are. We're never at a dead end. Never at a dead end. Never. I don't care. No one can ever tell me they're out of choices. No person can tell me they're out of choices. Never. The path you travel belongs to you. The shit you learn along your path may be different from the shit I learned along my path. The opportunities you have may be different from my opportunities. Now, if I get caught up on shoulda, woulda, coulda, then that's on me because I'm wasting time. What I have to do is capitalize on where I am and the opportunities I have. So that's what I said. I told him pretty much today. Good for you. Good for you. Congratulations. And so then after the meeting, I was talking to one of my colleagues in our group chat, and she was saying, I'm so pissed. She was mad. She was mad about him leaving, and I came him because of him, and that she was mad. And I told her, you feel betrayed. I said, you feel betrayed because you don't have your why either, but you're not bold enough to say it. And you're following a human who can say, this isn't my why, and leave. I said, so you feel betrayed. I said, but it's okay. I said, here's the thing though, but you feel it. So now you got to do something about it. What you going to do? And she went on to talk about how she dread her job, dread going to work. And she just went into details about, certain things at her job. And I said, well, if you're sick with it, imagine how your husband feels with you being sick and your children. I said, so you're infecting your whole family. And so the thing in thinking of it like that is when we traumatize the family because of our bullshit that we're enduring out of obligation to another human, the trauma is hard to heal. Our own, and imagine our children's. Our children, their trauma is hard to heal. Our spouses, their trauma is hard to heal. Everybody is sick connected to us because we're doing a fucking job that we don't like, a job that's killing us, and we're doing it for money. How much is your trauma worth? How much is your health worth? How much is your family worth? How much is your family worth? How much are you willing to sacrifice your family for? And when you think about it like that, it adds something different. And I know it's a lot of sucky ass jobs out there. Trust and believe. Y'all know I work every day to get my business off the ground and to get my business in a different place and to get in a space that I can do things the way I want to do them and I can follow my path and be in a place of happiness. Fortunately, I can balance this job that's not necessarily what I want to do amongst these other things. And that's a big deal for me because I've worked in jobs that I've dreaded. I've been in relationships that I fucking dreaded. I've been in relationships that fucking suck for years. And the problem is, I stayed in them because I thought it was the right thing to do. Now, all these years later, I swear to you, I was going to say, I swear to God. I can still say that because I mean it. I swear, I talked to my oldest daughter about my relationship with her dad, my ex-husband. We've been divorced for probably 15 years. I don't even know. I swear we talk about that shit every week. You know why? Because she's fucking traumatized from it. She's traumatized from it. Now, I could tell her, I'm not talking about this shit with you. I'm over it. But I can't do that because I stayed in the traumatizing, nasty ass relationship. I put her in the line of fire for it. I cannot forsake her. I cannot leave it to her when it's my doing. It's my doing. It was my doing to stay in it. Now, that doesn't absolve her dad from his issues, but I have a due diligence of responsibility to make sure that she's okay. She's getting better. She's 27. She's getting better. That's all I got. Is she's getting fucking better. But it is real. Trauma is real. So when you think of the trauma from a relationship, and we feel obligated to them because we're married, or we've been together for a long time, or we whatever. If it's sucky, shit is sucky. What, nothing justifies the sucky. Like nothing. We have to make sure that the people that are connected to it don't suffer much. I could get past it a little better because I'm older and I can do other things. But children have to process through it. Children have to go through the trauma. Now, when you're talking about the trauma from a job, somebody, a company, a business that could care less about you, you're doing a job that you fucking hate, and you're damaging your family in the process for money. That's fucked up. Because all it takes is for you to not get your contract renewed, or that company to go out of business, and all you have at home is your family who's fucking sick because you've made them sick because of this job. And now you've got to process your own trauma, rejection, um, resentment, whatever, however it is, or whatever it is that you have to process. So I love that the I love that our principal made that statement talking about his why, because that's bold. It's, I mean, that's bold to say, because he was making, I'm sure, was making good money. Think he started a brand new virtual school in Fulton County. So I figure he's probably going to go and start some virtual schools, consult with some other counties to start a virtual school. Why not? He's got a blueprint. He wrote it. He make buku money. Buku money. And not being strapped or tied down. And I've talked to many principals who will tell you they're not necessarily pleased with their job. The paperwork, the system, whatever. I've known many who aren't. And even school teachers will tell you. Everybody knows a school teacher, and they will tell you that this is daunting. Working in a school with kids is crazy as shit. These kids are crazy as shit. Their parents are crazy as shit. And they're there until they decide they're not. And I would advise anybody who is considering something different to do something different. Education isn't going anywhere. There's always going to be an opportunity for teachers. And if teaching is your passion and you love it, go for it, do it. I do it. I do it. I do it. Like, I've done it for years. I've taught in the some of the worst educational settings out there. Alternative school, the kids have been kicked out because socially they're fucked up. So I've been in it. I've worked in lower socioeconomic status schools. I've been in all of them. That's where I find my groove. That's where I'm amazing. That's where I don't have a problem with education. I don't have a problem with kids. What I have a problem with is the beat of the universe on me to deliver more. That's when I have a problem, when I'm not delivering more. Yes, I can affect movement in an educational setting, but I'm also called to affect movement in a social setting, in something larger. So that's why I keep moving. That's why I do it. That's why I do it. But I'm not in a place I would go work at McDonald's, like at McDonald's before I dread going to fucking work. McDonald's, Crystal. Welcome to McDonald's. I take your order. Been there, done that, baby. I can do that. And that's mindless, and it doesn't matter. I mean, it's not a lot of money. Well, it's more money now, but it's not a lot of money. But I'm not going to be miserable at work anymore. But I had to learn that. So my principal making that statement today and listening to the teachers talk about how they felt about it, it let me know there are a lot of people out there who are afraid to make that movement, who are afraid to talk about their why, and who won't even address their why. But one thing I'm not going to do is let how I feel about work seep into my home. Not going to do that. Work-life balance is a real thing, and I'm going to hold on to that. So I just wanted to share that. That's how I've been up since all this morning, listening to that meeting and thinking like, damn, he finna go make some stupid money. Mm. But good for him, you know. And we could. It's out there. It's plenty of money out there for everybody. We just have to step out there and do it. All right. So if you're just tuning in, I'm Joycelyn Wells with Joy Exposed. And on my podcast, I talk about any and everything, the things that make me happy, the things that make me sad, just exposing those things, joy exposed. When joy is exposed, everything feels better. When I can put my shit on Front Street and tell myself the truth about the shit that's around me, I'm good. Like, I ain't got anything coming to me. I know it's coming. I know where it's coming from. I know to look at it with trusting eyes because everything I put out there is a trust space. So that's a big deal for me. All right, so we'll continue. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys, and hopefully you got. I'm gonna put this in the chat just in case somebody wanna. Oh, that's not it. Never mind. Let me find it. Oh, here it is right here. I'm gonna put this link in the chat just in case somebody want to dial in. Uh, or you guys want to just comment. I'm fine with all of it. Let's see. Um, okay, here it is. All right. So here's the thing. I was thinking about this the other day. What kind of stuff did you learn as a child that you grew up and found out that shit wasn't true? And I'm gonna go first because you have these ideas about things. And hey there, author. Thank you for listening. Hi, Stephanie. So here's my thing. When I was in school, I always took from ninth grade on. I took home ec. I can sew right now. I can sew hand stitch anything, buttons. I can keep a clean house. I can balance a checkbook. Anything taught in home ec, I can do that shit. Well, let me tell you, the problem is I believed in home ec. And what I believed in home ec is that once I got married, my husband was going to work and make money, and I was going to take care of our house. I believe that. That's what's taught in home ec, home economics. And you think about the time that I was in school. So we're talking about the 80s. So this is still a time when you're teaching taking care of a home economics. I remember an older lady, she's probably 80 something now, while they took classes on hygiene, on taking care of themselves and cleaning. So there was a hygiene class. And I think that's probably incorporated in health now, but they took classes on learning how to keep a clean house, learning how to keep a clean body. So it changes over the years. Now, as I think back on my home ec class that taught me all of these amazing things about the kitchen and cooking and measuring cup and sewing and, using a sewing machine and stitching by hand and all of those things that we learned in home ec. I mean, I could make like a whole pantsuit. Like that was I made a blazer with walking shorts and a blazer. Like I was ready. I was going to be somebody's wife and I was going to keep a good home. But now I'm realized, not now, but a little while ago, I realized home ec was a fucking crock. Now, let me give it some preface here. Not that it was a fucking crock completely, but what it taught us was one-sided. It taught you the stuff to do to manage the home, but the guys weren't taking the class to understand the fucking assignment. The men were supposed to go to work and make the money and be husbands. And we're going to have these kids and we're family pictures and all of these amazing things. But the guys weren't taught that role in shop. I feel like I was duped, to be honest. Because when I did get married, I thought if a guy asked you to marry him, then he knows the assignment. He's going to do, and that's what the people say today. He knew the assignment. He knew what was needed to make a home and to, but that wasn't the case because the guys weren't taught that. So as I reflect on that now, I have to say that I I am a wife. Whether I have a husband or not, I am a wife. And the reason I say that I'm a wife is because I take care. Like I take care of people. So maybe I'm a mother, whatever it is. I'm a wife, a mother, whatever. I take care of people around me, right? I provide a safe space for them to exist. I provide good information for them to grow. Like it's those kind of things. I think that's in me. And maybe it's in everybody. I don't know. I can't speak for everybody. All I can speak for is myself. Oh my God. So my question was, what did you find out? What did someone tell you younger that you realized wasn't true older? So Marisa is listening and she said, what was told to me is that old men have worms. Marisa, I was told that too. That's funny. But I was told that too. So I'm with you. You answered it right. So I'm with you. And that's and honestly, Marisa, that's one of the reasons why I never dated more than 2 years older than me. Marisa, who told you that? Who told you the old man had worms? I love it. And that's I mean, that's real. Like they will tell you. Somebody will tell you that old men have worms. And listen, I ain't gonna knock. I'm telling. I done heard all kinds of stuff. So for me, my biggest sham was how the relationship was supposed to work. And now, granted, I grew up in North Georgia in Marietta, and what I was taught as far as how the house is supposed to be was probably based on Caucasian household. And not just in general, because I don't even know today that home ec is even that home ec is even still taught. Do they still teach home ec? Do they still have the rooms with the kitchen, the washer, the dryer, teach you how to fold clothes? Is that still a thing in high school? I don't think so, right? So it's changing. Barista said her grandma told her. She said she is on the floor screaming. Yes. Man, listen, old men having worms, that's funny. And I believe it. I ain't even gonna knock it. I believe it. So I don't even know that home ec is still a thing, that people are still pushing teaching home ec or taking home ec, but there were a lot of good skills taught in it. But what we're finding out now is that shit, the stuff you learn in is stuff you just need to do. Like you have to do it. So you got to take care of your home. Hygiene is important still. When you don't have good hygiene, it puts you in line for a lot of illnesses, food-borne illnesses. Like it's a bunch that goes. Hygiene is important, and the United States is. We got some hygiene protocols here. We've got uh, Health and Human Services, the CDC, like all of these things. But I guarantee you, and this go in line with what Varisa talking about, people having worms. I guarantee you, you know somebody that don't keep a clean house. I guarantee you that you know somebody that's not necessarily particular about taking care of those types of things. You hear people talking about laundry, leaving their laundry in the washer for a while, or all these different things. That all that stuff makes a difference. And so that's why I say, so I don't know if I'm a wife, it makes me a wife, or it just makes me particularly aware of taking care of my home and taking care of stuff. So I am pretty tidy. That's important to me. I do take care of the stuff I do take care of. So, I'm not knocking that. But when you see people that are old, tired, unkempt, when you see those types of things, you start thinking about, especially men, you start wondering, do they in fact have worry? What's wrong with them? I bet they smell bad. You start thinking about stuff like that. So I always wonder, like, what's the thing that you were told that turned out to not be true when you got to be an adult and you realized that, it wasn't true? And mine was the idea of home ec, what it meant. And Varisa shared that her grandma told her that old men have worms, which they should. They might. I mean, I ain't old enough for an old man yet. My guy's younger than me. I'm his cougar, so shit, he might think I have them. Hilarious. Let me stop. So I just was thinking about that. Like, how do we know? We always talk about men and not being men and men not taking care of their families. And honestly, where do men learn that? Where do men learn how to take care of their families? I don't know. Women, we had classes on that. How to take care of your family, how to take care of a baby, how to change a baby, we had classes on that. Where do you learn how to take care of your family if you're a man? And I wonder if there are any men listening. If you were commenting, if you could comment or hit the link and dial in, I'll bring you on screen. Like, where did you learn how to take care of your family? Who taught you that? We never ask those questions. We assume that people know because of the way that they were taken care of or because of the people who were around them. We don't know that that's true. We don't know. I mean, I've known men that grew up in the house with their mom and dad, and they had grandparents and everything, and they still ain't shit. They still don't know how to take care of themselves. They mama take care of them. What happens that you have the responsibility of taking care of people around you? Like, when does that happen for men? And so, there's a lot of misunderstanding of what happens out there, and we can't be judgmental of people because they can't or they don't, because we don't really know their background. We don't. What we know is, I first of all, let me say this. What I know at 52 is I can't teach a man to take care of his fucking kids, his family. Like, I can't I ain't that person that can teach you. Now, if you're in my classroom, I can teach you because that's the role. I am the teacher and stuff. But if you're a man and you're trying to date me or I can't teach you that shit. The only person I can teach right now of how to take care of people and some sense of responsibility is my son. And I try to be very open and honest with him about who he is and being a man from the perspective of I'm his mother, not from the perspective of him trying to be the man I want him to be. So I think we have to really kind of step back and look at that kind of stuff because we assume, right? And you hate to assume because, I mean, it's been pointed out, once you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. I make an ass out of you and me when I assume, because I'm putting these unfounded expectations on your move, on what I want you to do or and I can't do that because I don't know your background. Like, your, I don't know. So I can't put that on you. But what I can do is look at myself and the person that I am. Like, I know a lot about myself. That's important to me. Like, I am my greatest subject. Like, I study Joycelyn. Like, I want to know Joycelyn. I want to know why she is the way she is. I want to know where she's supposed to be within the universe and along her path. And Joycelyn is my primary subject. The more I know about Joycelyn, the more I can deal with everybody else. I can't know more about my children or faceless love than I know about me. Because as soon as I relinquish that, I've lost everybody. I got to stay on me. Because the more I know about me, the greater capacity I have to deal with people around me. So I know me. And if I know that I like to laugh and have a good time, and these are things I've just learned. I told you guys last week that I never really learned how to play. I'm learning now how to play, and I'm having a good time. I told you guys that if I don't know about myself, or then I'm going to struggle in situations and relationships, and I'm also going to be limited in my relationship and understanding of who somebody else is. I got to know about myself. So I can't talk about what somebody else should be. I can only talk about what I should be and encourage other people to find their why, travel along their path. That's why I posted on yesterday. I made a post and said, one thing about me, I'm going to cheer for you. That's what I do. I don't need to know shit that's about you. I'm going to cheer for you. Like, I got you. You got you. Let's do it. Let's do it. You got this. I'm going to cheer for you because I know that I can cheer. I know that there's goodness all around me. I know that there's goodness in people. And I know that we were all chosen to be here. So I know that I can cheer for you. Now, I didn't say what particularly I'm cheering for, because who the fuck knows? Your path is your path. Your shit, I could be cheering that when you go to court, you ain't got to go to jail for 2 years. I'm rooting for you. Hope the best thing that happens. Like, I ain't saying I'm wishing for you. I'm putting a spell on you. I ain't saying none of that. What I'm saying is the goal for you is to be the you can possibly be. And I'm going to cheer for that. That's what I'm going to cheer for. Now, that's all I got. That's literally what I have. So for me as a person, that's what I need to know. I need to know there are enough nooks and crannies, darkened spaces within me that I have shed light on, that those things happen in other people too. I have to respect my dark shit. I have to respect my crazy feelings. I have to respect the lies that I've told myself over the years, and more so respect the truth when I decided to unveil them. I have to respect all of that bullshit in me so that when I see other people, I know that they got bullshit and lies and nooks and crannies and dark spaces. I know that they have it too. And they may not be in a space that I'm in to talk openly about it and to put themselves on Front Street. They may not be there. It don't mean they don't have them. It don't mean that somebody else can't see them. It doesn't mean that it doesn't get better. Like, it doesn't mean any of that. It just says that I see you and I know that your path to freedom is along the trail that you walk. And I'm cheering for you. I'm cheering for you. And that's a big deal because for whatever reason, over the years, we've been made to think that our dark spaces are shameful spaces, when in reality, our dark spaces are our truth spaces. Our dark spaces are they're the places we keep our strength. And if we can come out of the dark, we're stronger, we're better for it. And people have less access to us. People have less access to us when we can come out of that dark shit. But as long as we keep the dark, as long as we're ashamed, as long as we're playing these games with ourselves and our own mind, it gives power to people around us. And why? 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 Well, fuck them. No, no, no one has power over you except you and the universe. That's why I'm comfortable putting my shit out front straight. Because I learned that if I'm not hiding from something, I'm free. I step into the spotlight, I step into the shine. What somebody else wants to say about me, what somebody else think about me, fine. But as long as I'm true to myself and I'm not pretending and I'm not trying to create a deceptive space or trying to mislead, then I'm fine every day. I can go to sleep at night. People trust when I say what I say. People are open to my presence. That's a big deal for me. That's a huge deal for me. And I know that I'm safe. And I trust the decisions that I make. I told you, I've said before, the one thing I learned from this book was tell yourself the truth about the shit that you're doing. Tell yourself the truth about the space that you're in. And I do. If it's fucked up, it's fucked up. This sucks. That's what I would say. Oh my God, this fucking sucks. I give myself a little time to get out of it. But I will be like, this sucks. What am I going to do different? Mm. And then I do something different. And it's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. That's like seriously okay. When something sucks, it's okay. When something doesn't bring you pleasure, it's okay to say that. For me, I'm pleasure. Like, that's if you know me, if you've had time, if I've had time to spend time with you and you had time to spend time with me, I'm pleasure. That's my goal. There's nothing underhanded about my presence. I don't do underhanded tones or petty or shade, or I don't do any of that shit. I just that shit just goes right over my head. I literally miss it. And when I'm around people that do that shit, after like the second time, I check out. I ain't even interacting with them no more because it already tells me that they're not comfortable with who they are and they're doing something trying to be deceptive or mean. And I don't have time for that. I'm having a good ass time. You want to have a good time with me? You want to have fun? Say that shit. I just said I'm for fun. I'm literally for fun. Like I'm pleasure. And I work on it all the time. I do. I just keep myself in a good place to have a good time. As a matter of fact, Faceless Love said to me the other night, he said, we were talking about how in the past 6 months we both gained weight. I said, man, I can't believe that I've gained this weight since I've been here. My stomach, I'm just talking. And he's like, it's all right. We gonna take care of it. I said, we just sitting up in here wrapped in love and having a good time. He said, yeah, man. He said, this shit is like a party. Like literally, that's our everyday. We go through our work day, and by 3:30, 4 o'clock, we looking at each other like, you off yet? You want to go sit outside? we like we literally are having a good time. And I honestly believe that if you're living in your life right now and you're not having a good time, and if having a good time is your goal, choose a good time. Choose happiness. Like, choose that shit. And it doesn't cost you a lot of money to choose happiness. Just choose it. Just choose the light versus the dark. Choose the good over the bad. Search every day to find your why. And if your good time doesn't feel good, then it's not a good time. Your good time belongs to you, not somebody else. So it's 10 o'clock, and it's Joycelyn Wells with Joy Exposed. And it's Wednesday, November 10th. Thank you guys so much for joining me. As always, I appreciate you. And remember, when joy is exposed, everything just feels better. Mwah. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.